Now, but there's something fundamentally important that we need to note as we celebrate democracy. The president said, let me quote him. He said, recognizing that democracy is undermined when people do not feel the impact. Now, I went further to say that my administration has sought financial autonomy for our 774 local councils. Now, a fundamental challenge to our nation's advancement has been ineffective local government administration. That is coming from Mr. President. And let me tell you something. Important as that is, there are certain things that are fundamentally wrong in our constitution. That until and unless we fix those things, we will never have effective local government administration because of the constitution. It's like with one hand, with the right hand, the constitution gave certain things to the local government, and with the left hand, it took it away. Now, I know you're quick to say there was a Supreme Court judgment that gave financial autonomy to local government. Yes. What is the financial autonomy to local government if the local government will still operate a joint account with the states? What is financial autonomy to the local government if the House of Assembly of a state will still make laws for the local government? The structure, the tenure, and all that. Now, so those are the fundamental things. Let me point them out to you, the Constitution, quickly. Now, the 1999 Constitution, as amended, Section 7, subsection 1. You listen to the aberration there. I quote, it says, the system of local government by democratically elected councils is under this Constitution guaranteed. And there is no contest in it. Just as we have the federal government, we have the state government, we have the local government. So we have 3 tiers of government established by the Constitution, Section 7, subsection 1. But in the same subsection 1, listen to it again. It said, and accordingly, the government of every state shall, subject to Section 8 of this Constitution, ensure their existence under a law which provides for establishment, structure, composition, finance, functions of such councils. Now, in one hand, it said by this Constitution of 1999, the local government administration is guaranteed. It now went further to say, the government of every state shall, subject to this Constitution, ensure their existence under a law. Now, the lawmaking body of every state is the House of Assembly. And where the fundamental problem is that every House of Assembly in Nigeria as of today are dictated by the state governments. Now, you might argue that till tomorrow, but that is the fact on ground. The state government determine who comes into their Houses of Assembly, most times. They determine who becomes the Speaker and other principal officers. So in other words, the Houses of Assembly of states are tied to the apron string of the state government. So in the real terms of it, you do not have separation of powers between the state government and the House of Assembly. The House of Assembly are controlled. Now, if it says that every state shall subject to ensure their existence under a law, it means that law is the one passed by the House of Assembly. And who controls this? So even if you grant financial autonomy to the local governments, the states are still constitutionally mandated to make a law that provides for the establishment, provide for their structure, provide for their composition, their finance. No, so that is the aberration. Now, until this portion of the Constitution is amended, the local government will never be free from the apron strings of the state governments. The Constitution probably have forgotten, or those practices of the Constitution have decided that the Houses of Assembly are not independent. And so because they are not independent, and there's this joint account that from the federation account, resources is paid to the local government, the states want to be part of it. So pay it to the local government, give them account, but so long as who emerges as local government chairman or councillor is determined by the state governments, there is no local government that will resist the control of their states and of the House of Assembly. Because their House of Assembly that will make laws concerning their structure, concerning their composition, concerning how to spend their finance. Good enough the Supreme Court made a pronouncement. Good enough Mr. President has a good intention, and these monies are released to democratically elected local governments, not caretaker committees. But who controls the local government? That's what we're saying. Who beats the drum? Dictate the dance. So if truly we have 3 tiers of government, like you have the federal, states, the federal government does not make law for the state. The state has its own House of Assembly. So why do we have the House of Assembly making laws for the state, and you call it the tier of government? So it is, by the reason of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the local governments are not independent. The local government are attaché of the state governments. So let this be a challenge to the National Assembly. You must quickly do something to help our local government. To go back to what the president said, that a fundamental challenge to our nation's advancement has been ineffective local government administration. Now, who wants an effective local government? The National Assembly must take the bull by the horn and set in motion the process of amending the Constitution. Now, but the challenge is the procedure for amending the Constitution is tedious. Now, for a clause in the Constitution to be amended, you need the concurrence of 2/3 of the states, which means 36 states, you need about 24 states to concur. And you may never get that. Because, remember, it is the governors that control the House of Assembly. So if you come back to the House of Assembly and they should pass the bill to amend the Constitution to extricate the local government from the control of the states, the state government will prevail on the local government never to do that. So which means it is like going through the eye of a needle. It will not work. So it's a constitutional amendment that will never work. So what can be done? What can be done is we must rewrite this Constitution. I tell you, constitutional amendment won't work. The contradictions in this Constitution are too numerous. So if we must get over these contradictions, we need a brand new Constitution.